Hello, welcome to Critical Joke Theory with your host, G.D. Fenderson, Certified Forensic Humorist. Now with new joke technology. Hi, I'm G.D. Fenderson, Certified Forensic Humorist at Large, but I'm losing weight. Welcome to Critical Joke Theory, episode 90. Now with new joke technology and 13% more snark, and open caption for the humor impaired. Sam Moore, the surviving half and higher voice of the 1960s duo Sam and Dave, has died. He was 89. Sam and Dave was known for such definitive hits as Soul Man and Hold On, I'm Coming, which is the song that Trump used to play for his attorney Alina Habba while she reviewed his briefs. Sam Moore died due to complications while recovering from surgery. No additional details were immediately available. Moore was inducted with Sam and Dave partner Dave Prater into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1992. Most of the hits were written and produced by the team of Isaac Hayes, Hello there, children, how my little crackers today, and David Porter at Stax Records, and featured the Stax House Band Booker T and the MGs, whose guitarist Steve Cropper received one of music's most famous shoutouts when Sam and Dave called, Play it, Steve, midway through Soul Man. Like many 60s soul acts, Sam and Dave faded after the 1960s, but Soul Man hit the charts again in the late 1970s when the Blues Brothers, John Belushi and Dan Aykroyd, while on a mission from God, recorded it with many of the same musicians. Moore had mixed feelings about the hit becoming associated with the Saturday Night Live stars because young people thought Soul Man was written by the Blues Brothers. Moore may have changed his mind once he received that residual check for $19. Rest in peace, Sam. You gave us some good music for the ages, and for that, I thank you. Bob Uecker, the famously mediocre major league hitter, died early Thursday after a long battle with cancer. He was 90. Uecker discovered that he was much more comfortable at a microphone than at home plate. And that was just the start of a second career in entertainment that reached far beyond the ballpark. Euchre spent 54 years as the Milwaukee Brewers play-by-play man, starred in the 1980 sitcom Mr. Belvedere, and had memorable roles in the movie Major League and in Miller Lite ads. Rest in peace, Bob. Although your baseball stats were less filling, your post-baseball career tastes great. Director-writer David Lynch, who radicalized American film with a dark, surrealistic, artistic vision in films like Blue Velvet and Mulholland Drive, and network television with Twin Peaks, has died of emphysema. He was 78. Lynch burst onto the scene in 1977 with Eraserhead, a horrific, black-humored work that became a disturbing fixture on the midnight movie circuit. I've seen it 3 times, and this picture is all I can remember, and I'm still not sure if this scene was in the movie or in my drugs. Lynch was hired by Mel Brooks' production company to write and direct The Elephant Man, a deeply affecting drama about a horrifically deformed sideshow freak in Victorian England who became a national celebrity, giving birth to the line, I am not an animal! I am a human being! David Lynch was a truly prolific artist and a unique talent. I could spend hours discussing his contributions as a whole, but as David Lynch would say, keep your eye on the donut and not on the hole. Rest in peace, David. Your work was surreal and you were wild at heart. Aileen Cannon, in a hearing Friday, appeared likely to block Attorney General Merrick Garland from releasing special counsel Jack Smith's final report on convicted felon unregistered sex offender President-elect Donald Trump's retention of classified documents to select members of Congress' efforts to overturn his 2020 election loss. Cannon in court suggested it would be, quote, premature, close quote, to allow the congressional members to see the report while the Justice Department continues to appeal the case against Trump's former co-defendants. Judge Cannon said, quote, there is really no way this court can do anything or enforce anything about leaks. What can I do if somehow this report gets leaked? Close quote. So expect an unexpected leak from Merrick Garland aide Steve Urkel, Can I do that? The U.S. Supreme Court ruled against TikTok on Friday, effectively banning the social network in the country starting Sunday, January 19th. The New York Times reported that this decision was unanimous 9-0. The decision means that the United States operations for the popular app must shut down this Sunday to comply with a 2024 law that President Biden signed that forced the Chinese based network from operating in the United States. However, despite the fact that President Joe Biden signed the measure into law, he is leaving the fate of the app in the hands of convicted felon, unregistered sex offender, President elect Donald Trump. Biden is ordering that the law not be enforced for the remaining hours that he is president. Of course, ordering Merrick Garland to act immediately is the same as delaying. Rudy Giuliani, seen here in the middle of another slur, has settled with Ruby Freeman and Shay Moss over issues related to the surrender of his assets to satisfy nearly $150 million defamation judgment against him. The tentative settlement effectively marks the beginning of an end to the defamation case, which has dragged on for more than a year due to Giuliani's bankruptcy filing and subsequent refusal to comply with court orders. Freeman and Moss called the agreement a major milestone that will enable them to move forward with their lives. Giuliani will get to keep his World Series rings, his Florida condominium, his vintage car, as well as other assets that he was dragging his assets in turning over. One of the conditions to which Giuliani agreed to is that he is never to defame Moss and Freeman ever again. If he does, then back in court they go. I give Giuliani 2 weeks and one good night of drinking. He'll be slurring words and Moss and Friedman in no time. The Israeli Security Cabinet has approved the ceasefire and hostage release deal with Hamas, meaning it is now one step closer to implementation, and the full cabinet began meeting on Friday night to deliberate the next step for approval. The vote was delayed after Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu claimed Hamas had sought late concessions, which the militant group denied. Both sides confirmed the final issues were resolved overnight. But to be honest, Netanyahu does not want peace. He wants all of Gaza. This phase deal would begin with a 6-week truce and could end 15 months of fighting in Gaza. Israeli strikes have killed at least 116 people since the deal was announced, Gaza's civil defense has said. There are 3 phases to the Gaza-Israel ceasefire deal. The first phase begins with a 6-week ceasefire in exchange for the release of 33 hostages over a 6-week period, including women, children, older adults, and wounded civilians. Israel released hundreds of Palestinian women and children imprisoned by Israel. The second phase includes a permanent ceasefire and Israel's withdrawal from Gaza. The third phase involves a reconstruction process. Now, if Gaza's reconstruction is anything like our reconstruction was, oy vey. At least 27 people have died as multiple wildfires fueled by severe drought conditions and strong winds rage across the Los Angeles area. Thousands of firefighters are battling wildfires across 45 square miles of densely populated Los Angeles County. About 82,000 people remain under mandatory evacuation orders. Another 90,000 are under evacuation. And 3, Mel Gibson, Jon Voight, and Sylvester Stallone, are just not wanted there. California Attorney General Rob Bonta said his department has opened multiple active investigations into price gouging reports. They've also created a new Department of Justice Disaster Relief Task Force that's dedicated to investigating and prosecuting price gouging and other crimes targeting disaster victims. Okay. Los Angeles County Sheriff Robert Luna reported there have been 44 arrests so far, 36 in the Eaton fire area and 8 in the Palisades fire area. These apprehensions include 2 men who allegedly impersonated firefighters in an effort to burglarize homes. Hochman said Wednesday morning his office has charged 2 additional people in arson cases. James Mota, 37, is charged with 1 count of felony arson of property and 1 count of felony arson. The second new suspect, Ruben Michael Montez, 27, is charged with one count each of felony arson during a state of emergency, felony possession, manufacturing, or disposing of flammable or combustible materials, incendiary devices, or explosives with the intent to commit arson, and misdemeanor reckless burning of personal property. Another man, Juan Manuel Sierra, was arrested Thursday in connection with the nearly 1,000-acre Kenneth fire after first being apprehended by local residents. He has not been charged, but remains a person of interest. Sierra was arrested for violating felony probation related to immigration. He is being held in LA County Jail. I am warning you now. I looked for pictures of these three individuals and I could not find one, but every image that did turn up with similar names was of a Hispanic man. Fox is going to blame Biden's immigration policies for the fires. Suspended South Korean President Yoon Suk Yeol once again refused to appear for questioning on Friday, the third day of his detention, as investigators requested he be formally placed under arrest. Yoon communicated through his lawyer that he had already thoroughly stated his position, that his position is that this investigation is illegal. This was stated to the Corruption Investigation Office for high-ranking officials on the first day of questioning, and quote, doesn't see any reason or need to respond to a question and answer type of interrogation, close quote. Yoon had already failed to appear the previous day, citing health reasons. He's sick of being treated like a regular person. Republican Ohio Governor Mike DeWine appointed his state's Lieutenant Governor John Husted on Friday to fill Vice President-elect J.D. Vance's former seat in the U.S. Senate. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis on Thursday named State Attorney General Ashley Moody to replace U.S. Senator Marco Rubio if the Senate confirms him as Secretary of State. Those two appointments will preserve the Republicans' 53 to 47 Senate majority, but not their dignity, as if they had dignity to preserve. Convicted felon, unregistered sex offender Donald Trump swearing-in ceremony is to be moved indoors due to cold weather forecast for Washington, D.C. on Monday. If you thought his last inauguration crowd size was small, that's nothing compared to the shrinkage Monday's frigid temperatures could cause. Trump wants you to believe that he's concerned for the well-being of the spectators, and that's why he's doing this. But if we've learned anything from people fainting from the heat exhaustion during Trump rallies, it's that he does not sweat the small stuff or the small people. Speaker Mike Johnson sent shockwaves around Capitol Hill when he decided to oust Representative Mike Turner, Republican Ohio, a staunch NATO supporter who has aggressively pushed for U.S. aid to Ukraine, as the chair of the House Intelligence Committee, and replace him with Representative Rick Crawford, Republican from Arkansas, a conservative who voted against the most recent Ukraine aid package. It's a move that appeased conservatives and allies of convicted felon, unregistered sex offender, resident-elect Donald Trump, but infuriated the GOP's more moderate members. A GOP lawmaker predicted the ousted chairman would make life difficult for Johnson in the coming year and could be in a position to halt Republicans' entire agenda if he chooses to do so. Turner did not participate in House votes on Wednesday or Thursday. Quote, I think Turner will burn the House down, close quote, the lawmaker said. Quote, he will be a no vote on everything. I mean, he just got totally fucked, close quote. Johnson's getting it in both ends, Trump from the front and Turner from the back. Some kids might call that an Eiffel Tower. I'm just going to call it the next 4 years. And finally, President Joe Biden announced a major opinion on Friday that the Equal Rights Amendment is ratified, enshrining its protections into the Constitution, a last-minute move that some believe could pave the way to bolstering reproductive rights. It will, however, certainly draw swift legal challenges, and its next steps remain extremely unclear as Biden prepares to leave office and leave Trump another conundrum. Trump, A conundrum is an intricate and difficult problem. Quote, it is long past time to recognize the will of the American people. In keeping with my oath and duty to Constitution and country, I affirm what I believe and what three-fourths of the states have ratified. The 28th Amendment is the law of the land, guaranteeing all Americans equal rights and protections under the law, regardless of their sex, close quote. Biden said in a statement on Friday. Biden, a senior administration official, said is not taking executive action, but is, quote, stating an opinion that it is ratified, close quote. Well, opinions are like assholes. They can be elected president twice. I'm GD Fenderson, certified forensic humorist, now with new joke technology. Thank you for watching Critical Joke Theory, where our motto is I purport, you decide if you want to pay attention. If you enjoyed it, please like and share it. And please check out Dumb Way Past Funny on YouTube, Knob TV, and Spark TV. Also, watch The Church of Last Resort streaming live on Sundays on YouTube at 9 a.m. Eastern. And please, if you're in Levittown, New York on January 24th, please check out Fresh Brewed Comedy with Tony Walker, Stephen Ortiz, Ron Kane, and myself at the New York Governor's Comedy Club, the Giggle Room. Tickets are available now at governorscomedyclub.com. Be safe out there, and don't feed the crazies. Critical Joke Theory with your host, G.D. Fenderson, certified forensic humorist. Now with new joke technology.